Hey, fourth graders, today I need you to find the reading comprehension packet that went home. We've done these before. We've done one or two of them before, but you're going to look for the one that's called Achoo by Cynthia Sherwood. And we are going to read the story together, and then we're going to talk about the pages that come after that. So pause the video if you need to find it, and then come back when you're ready. All right, so the name of the story, like I said, is Achoo by Cynthia Sherwood. Achoo! We all sneeze sometimes. Sneezing is a reflex that your body does automatically. That means you cannot make yourself sneeze or stop once it has started. When you sneeze, I'm right here, follow along on your sheet. When you sneeze, your body is trying to get rid of bad things in your nose, such as bacteria. You have extra germs when you have a cold, so you sneeze a lot more. You might also sneeze when you smell pepper. Inside your nose, there are hundreds of tiny hairs. These hairs filter the air that you breathe. Sometimes dust and pollen find their way through these hairs and bother your nasal passages. The nerves in the lining of your nose tell your brain that something is invading your body. Your brain, lungs, nose, mouth, and the muscles of your upper body work together to blow away the invaders with a sneeze. When you sneeze, germs from your nose get blown into the air. Using a tissue or sneezing into your sleeve captures most of the germs. We know this year we've learned a lot about germs, right guys? With COVID, it is very important to wash your hands after you sneeze into them, especially during cold and flu and COVID season. They didn't write that in there yet, did they? Do you ever sneeze when you walk into bright sunlight? About 25% of people experience this phenomenon. I don't know if it's ever happened to me, but you'll have to pay attention. So when you go outside and it's really bright sun, some people sneeze. Scientists believe that the brain gets confused when signals from the optic nerve trigger the sneezing reflex in direct sunlight. This usually runs in families. If someone nearby sneezes, remember to tell them Gesundheit. That is a funny looking word which is pronounced Gesundheit. Gesundheit. It is the German word that wishes someone good health after sneezing. Gesundheit. So you could surprise your family if you usually say bless you. You could change it up. All right, so go to the next page in the packet and I will meet you there. All right, it's kind of hard for me to fit them both, but you can kind of rip off the story so that you can look at both of them at the same time, because you're going to need to look back in your story to find the answers to the questions, okay? So let's look at number 1. It says, which parts of your body work together when you sneeze? Okay, so I want to go back. The parts that Mrs. Hagen underlined before aren't here. So I want to look back to the part where they talked about right here. Your brain, lungs, nose, and muscles of your upper body. This is going to be what you need to write for number 1. Okay, I'm not going to tell you all of them, okay, because I think a lot of them are just, you'll be able to do number 2. Number 3 you'll be good on. Find the part about where they were talking about the sunlight. I do want to talk about the 3 reasons that people sneeze. Okay, so you need to find that part in the story. Okay. So what were some of the reasons? Like I'm looking at the very beginning. It says when you sneeze, your body is trying to get rid of bad things in your nose. That would be one of them. Okay, and then as you keep reading, there's more of them. Okay, so they talk about dust and pollen finding their way in. That could go So you're going to write there's three circles, guys. So think about different reasons that you sneeze, okay? 3 reasons that people sneeze. And you don't need to write the complete sentence, write a shortened version, okay? So like for an example, so let's look up at this one up here that we just talked about. Your body is trying to get rid of bad things. So you could kind of zoom in here and you could write body getting, it doesn't have to be a perfect sentence because I know it's not a huge space, getting rid of bad things. Okay, just the best that you can do, put that in there. And then I would go over and I would find other reasons why we sneeze. Okay, so find 2 more to put in your other circles. So if you need to pause the video here until you finish this page, and then meet me on our last vocabulary page where we're going to match the vocabulary word with the definition. Okay? All right, you guys are usually pretty good at these. So this is like matching, but you don't need to draw the lines back because then it gets kind of crazy. So you need to find this word, okay? Like for instance, I would find the word filter, and then I would go back in the story and find what that means, okay? So when I go back to the story, I can actually move over so I can see it, guys. Okay, so I go back and I find the word filter in the story. Okay, you can see it. It's not letting me write on that page, guys. It is right there. Do you see the word filter? Okay, and what does filter mean? So let's read through our choices. We have something that's done unconsciously or spontaneous. That means you aren't in control of it. Relating to the nose, a nerve that sends messages between the eye and the brain. Preventing unwanted material or debris from passing through. Ooh, D sounds good, doesn't it? D would be filter. Okay, so I go up and I write D. In a way, a mask like we've been wearing for COVID is like a filter too because it's covering, but a filter is letting in just a little bit, prevents unwanted things from coming or passing through. So the next one is invaders. Okay, think about what that word means, and you can go back in the story and find it as well. Invading means it's something that we don't want. Something's invading. It's coming into our body without us wanting it. Okay, so find that one. And some of these are just like confused. There might just be a word that you already know. Okay, but you might have to look back in the story. If something happens automatically, if it's happening without us even trying, A, done unconsciously or spontaneously. It's happening without us even trying. So I know that one would be A. I like to cross them out after I use them too. Okay. So try to figure out the rest of them. You guys have heard of the word pollen before. Remember, optic nerve was that part that controls. Go back in your story. The optic nerve controls different things. Okay, it's a little nerve between your eye and your brain. Trigger, nasal, and reflex. I think you're going to be able to finish those, guys. So good luck.